Hey kids, we're a couple of annoyed grunt boys, and this is the 138th Simpsons podcast. That's right, we're the podcast that explores the animated sitcom The Simpsons from seasons 11 and beyond, and the newest ones when they come out. Well, actually we do 12 and beyond because we already did season 11. But why do we do it like that? Well, an entity known as the Wheel of Random has trapped us and forced us to watch a show in such a manner. And there are plenty of other podcasts that, watch the Golden Age Simpsons, that being seasons 1 through 10. And I say we because I am one annoyed grunt boy named Steve.
And I am an annoyed grunt boy named Craig. Now, Steve, there's something from this episode that I think we don't have to use our names ever again. I mean, we use our names, but what if we say this? Annoyed grunt boy, what is your name? So say that to me.
Annoyed grunt boy, what is your name?
My name is Craig.
Oh.
And you, annoyed grunt boy, what is your name?
My name is Steve.
See, we don't have to say our name anymore because of 2 episodes of The Simpsons using our names.
This is brilliant. This will cut down on time. I will have so much more free time to work on my hobbies, woodworking and the like. This is a real game changer. I also like that it captured our true essences, because you are a little overconfident and I'm a little defeated. That sounds about right.
My name is Steve.
My name is Steve.
My name is Craig.
My name is Craig.
It works.
All right. Okay.
We usually kind of goof off and talk about stuff. But this is a big episode. This is a Disney Plus episode that is 45 minutes. It's like 2 episodes in one.
We usually do the movies and music of the time period, but usually when we do the new episodes, we don't discuss. I'm going to assume the number 1 movie in the box office for this week was Toy Story 5, so there you go.
Cool. I can give you the song real quick here.
It's probably some sort of Kid Rock song, right? I'm assuming he's popular of this time.
It's Taylor Swift. I knew it. I knew you.
Oh, is it Taylor Swift, the number 1 song?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, Shake It Off, is that what the number 1 song is? You think I would know, right?
It's called I Knew It. I Knew You.
All right. Well, hey, Steve, I think we've said enough. Are you excited to do this? It's interesting for us because we've done 2-parters, but usually we've done parts 1 and 2. I don't think we've done a full 2-part episode in one sitting.
No.
We've talked about doing other TV show, drama shows or hour-long shows. And so this would be a nice way for us to see how long an episode would be of if we did an episode of The West Wing or...
Right.
But we have talked about hour-long shows on our podcast. I mean, the Patreon podcast, The Love Boat. That is a spin-off show.
And we did talk about Dawson's Creek, the pilot, and that was an hour long, so we've done this before, but we get to talk about The Simpsons for an extra long time.
So you're saying this is going to be a 2-hour episode, so we should probably just batten down the hatches and just get to it. I think that's what you're saying.
I think so. So let's get into it. Today we're talking about Extreme Makeover Homer Edition, in which Homer and Marge's fun couples date goes off the rails like a train when Marge learns Homer left the kids unsupervised with only the doorbell camera as a babysitter. Frustrated with her imperfect husband, a tipsy Marge stirs up a trilogy of fantasies of different Homers. Ooh, exciting.
Oh, should we, before we go, remind people who we are?
Oh yeah. I'm an annoyed grunt boy, and...
My name is Steve.
I, too, am an annoyed grunt boy, and...
My name is Craig.
All right. We're Steve, and we're Craig, and you are listening to us, and we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Today we're talking about Extreme Makeover Homer Edition, the 18th and 19th episode of the 37th season, and the 4th Disney Plus special. It's episode 806 and 807 in the show's run, and it originally aired on June 17th, 2026. Your nerd code is 36ABF20 and 36ABF21. It was written by Michael Price and Nick Dahan, directed by Matthew Nastuk and Timothy Bailey, and your showrunners are Michael Price and Matt Selman.
All right, we got to talk about two people, Steve.
I
We got
know.
to talk about Mike and Nick. So Mike, I call him Mike for short because his name is Michael.
Sure.
But we'll call him Mike in this intro. Sorry, Michael. Hey, he's a writer and producer who's worked with various Lego Star Wars projects. We've always bringing that up. Bill Burr's F is for Family. Of course, Homeboys from Outer Space, which I'm excited to review an episode of that in the future.
Yes.
And the one we did review, Teen Angel. He wrote with that with Mr. Al Jean.
Mm-hmm.
So since joining the Simpsons in 2003, Price has written 28 episodes, and this has been the 13th that we've discussed. Some that we have reviewed are Mommy Dearest, My Fair Laddie.
She just did.
We just did that one. And Boys of Bummer, Funeral for a Fiend, You Don't Have to Live Like a Referee, Mathlete's Feet, Much a Poo About Something, Mad About the Toy, Mita's Murder, Hostel Kirk Place, I.E. Bonnie Romance, Treehouse of Horror 36, and now this.
And then we have Nick Dahan, who was born in 1992. He's a writer and assistant. And he's joined the writing staff in 2021 as a staff writer, but he had been there since like 2016. To date, he's written Bart's in Jail, Homer and Her Sisters, and now this one, the second part of this one, and we reviewed all of those.
And I can safely say I remember stuff from this episode.
Me too.
I mean, we go back to Michael Price, and there is a couple that we reviewed I remember us not being fans of. So hopefully Michael or Mike, you will have redeemed your Simpsons cred with the Annoyed Grump Boys. That sounds threatening.
If not, you'll pay the price. The Michael price.
But we love all Simpsons episodes, even if we don't like them.
Yes. They're like children. You don't have to like them to love them.
Exactly.
Assuming
Yeah.
you're related to them. I mean, it's not just like any kid on the street.
Yeah. I tolerate my children, you know. I'm not saying I love them, but, you know.
Yeah. Well, what can you expect? Their parents are awful.
No, I love my child just as much as Steve loves his coffee.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of love. But can you drink
I
your
don't
child?
drink my yeah, okay. Can you milk these nipples, Steve?
Yes.
Steve, let's just get into it. How excited are you to watch an hour long, 45 minutes? Well, if there was commercials, it would be an hour long.
Yeah, this is a big episode.
Yeah. And the exciting part about this episode, Steve, is something we discussed on the newer seasons, that we never get to see Bart writing on a chalkboard.
It's true. It almost feels retro, but we do get a billboard chalk. We get all the gags.
Yes.
Our billboard gag is Identity Expansion, Sherman Stokes Existential Council, and it shows Sherman Stokes holding several people, or several versions of one guy. This is not a reference to anything that I could find, so I think Sherman Stokes is probably a take on LA's Sherman Oaks, and it's not a reference to anything else, and this is the first appearance of him, as far as I can tell.
Unless we see him in the future, but who knows?
Whoa. Yeah.
That's how things work. There is, like I said, the chalkboard gag, and it's Bart writing, I will not hit the skip the intro button. Now, obviously, I don't want to skip the intro on The Simpsons.
No, never.
But what's up, Bart's teacher, Miss Carrie Russell? I mean,
Nope.
Miss Carrie Washington. Yeah. Keeping Bart. I don't know her name. What is it?
Miss Carrie
Washington.
Yes.
Well, we'll go with Carrie Washington at this point. But why is she keeping Bart behind? You know, like he just said, like, you know, I'm watching Netflix. So I always hit the skip intro button.
Here's my theory. It's a Friday. Bart's teacher, Carrie Washington, is tired. And they want to play an episode of Bill Nye, the Science Guy. So they roll in that audiovisual, the TV with the VCR. And Bart's like, I don't want to listen to the dumb song. And Carrie's like, but it's a really good song. It goes, Bill Nye, the Science Guy. Bill, Bill, Bill. And so she tells him to not skip that intro.
Here's my theory. It's still Friday, like you said, and they're wheeling in a TV, and they turn on Netflix, and Miss Peyton, which is her name,
Of course,
I had
yes.
to look it up,
Rochelle Payton.
and she's like, all right, we're just going to watch one of my favorite TV shows. And she turns on Scandal to show the kids. Mm-hmm. And the theme song comes up, and Bart's like, yeah, skip it. And she's like, don't skip this theme song. This TV show slaps.
I like your theory. I think Miss Payton is a big fan of the whole Shondaverse, and so, yeah, that makes sense.
Because she really loves the character Olivia Pope on Scandal.
Right.
But do you skip intro button on certain shows, or do you play the themes? Like, is there certain ones like...
I'm trying to think. I can't think of any show. I was watching the show From, which is not a good show. It's on MGM Plus, if you have MGM Plus. It's kind of like a sci-fi spooky show that goes nowhere. But it had a really annoying, spooky, I don't remember the song, but it took like a pop song and made it spooky. And that we skipped every time. But most of the time, I'm just happy to hear a theme song because there's so few shows that have them these days. So I always play the whole thing. How about you?
I will admit that I hit skip theme song on the 90s Star Trek.
That's fair. That takes a while. So yeah, I don't blame you.
It does. The Next Generation theme is like 8 minutes long. Mm-hmm. I'm like, all right, I don't need Space the Final Frontier. I'm sorry, Captain Picard. But like all the Star Trek shows, I'm like, yeah, I'll just skip intro. I know them so well. Like, why do I need to watch them?
And the visuals are kind of boring because it's just a ship flying back and forth. Just like, whoosh, whoosh.
I mean, it was cool back in the 80s and 90s.
Sure.
But now I'm just like, all right, let's just get to the story.
I can just look outside and see spaceships flying by.
Exactly. I'm in the future. But like Simpsons, that's a never skip.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of like sitcoms that don't even have like intro themes. It's almost like, why is there a skip button? Like Breaking Bad, right?
Right.
Like it just has a ding, ding, but like sometimes I say skip intro. I'm like, there's no intro.
Yeah.
I don't need to skip this. Sometimes it's longer because then like your internet or your provider or the streaming service like pause and like do the wheel. I'm like, okay, sorry, we'll try to catch up to the show.
Oh God, I hate it when like the audio and the visuals do not sync up because you skipped, and then you have to like pause and get it caught up. It's so annoying.
And then sometimes the closed captioning isn't working, yet I have captionings on, so then I gotta like close the program. Sometimes I just restart the whole TV.
Mm-hmm. What a horrible future we live in.
Yeah.
The worst part of the world. But what's good in the world is this couch gag. I kind of want to not like go beat by beat because it's kind of a long one and there's a lot that happens. I implore you, the listener, to check it out yourself. But basically, as Marge is checking out of the grocery store, a bottle of Omega Mart Cola falls out of the bag with Maggie inside. And so when Marge picks it up, she is pulled into a cooler filled with that Omega Mart soda. And then she goes to another dimension and she's traveling under the sea and a whole bunch of weird stuff happens. And then we see some live action autos building a ramshackle makeshift living room of the Simpsons with puppets. And so this is created by Meow Wolf, which is an art collective. Originally started in New Mexico by a bunch of artists who felt like the art scene in New Mexico was too hoity-toity and fancy. And so they wanted to create their own art scene that was kind of more independent and not based on money. So they talked to George R.R. Martin, and he helped them fund the money to buy an old bowling alley, which they turned into a house inside of the bowling alley, and a whole mystery that you can solve in there. You go through a dryer, and then you enter a different world. And then they opened up another one in Las Vegas, which is the Omega Mart, which is a grocery store that is real strange and weird, and I've been to both of those. They also have one in Colorado that is more travel-themed, and they have a couple in Texas. They're real weird, real fun, real hard to explain, but it's definitely an experience.
And why isn't there one in Portland, Steve?
I don't know, because I thought that the Lloyd Center would have been a perfect place for it, and I thought they could have co-sponsored with the McMinimans and put a restaurant in there, and it would have been perfect.
You'll have to explain what a Lloyd Center is to non-Portland residents.
It's the mall where Tanya Harding... Nope, that's not that one. Did she go there? I don't know.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, or did she go to the town center?
Well, then you got to explain town center.
Basically, the Lloyd Center is a mall that is no longer a mall because malls don't really exist anymore. So now it's just kind of a weird, creepy space, which would be perfect for an art installation.
Well, didn't they like demolish a bunch of the building?
I think so, yeah. I haven't been by there in a minute, but it's weird because it's like halfway a mall with like just Funko Pop stores and like whatever malls look like these days, and then it's just weird empty space, and then there's like squatters and stuff.
I couldn't tell you the last time I went to Lloyd Center, because there's a theater across the street, and so it's probably a movie at some point in the last 10 years, but inside the mall, no.
Yeah, I don't know the last time I've been there either.
You know what's funny is now that Lloyd Center is just infested with rats. So you could say there are some clerks in the mall.
That's true. Yes, there are some clerks. And they're full of dogma.
And they're probably chasing Amy's.
And clerks too.
And it's so ramshackled that a couple people named Zach and Miri have to make an adult film there. But be careful because there is a lot of cop-outs. And luckily, we're in Oregon, so we're not a red state.
And we have plenty of tusks.
And we're pretty close. I know Washington State's up there, but next to that, of course, we have Canada. So there's a lot of fitness gurus up there in Canada who love to do yoga and come down here. Those yoga hosers, as we call them.
Yep. And, while you're at the theater or at the mall, you can go across the street for that 4:30 movie.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one. Did we do Jersey Girl yet?
Oh, no.
And scene. All right. There's your Kevin Smith filmography.
Yes. And Jay and Silent Bob.
Right.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
And reboot.
Yes. But yeah, the intro is really cool. And if you're ever in New Mexico or Las Vegas, go there. It's cool. I think their labor practices are a little iffy, but it's a collective and it's cool. So it's fun.
Well, Steve, our episode begins, as it always does, with Marge fretting over what to wear for a big night out. She looks through her wardrobe, deciding that her vintage 90s tee was too casual, her dress suit from her time at the power plant was too dressy, and her pink Chanel suit was too bangin'.
Ooh.
Her Sadgasm tank top wasn't banging enough. And then Maggie spit up on her cop uniform, and Homer spit up on her prison suit. With the tag number 67. Now, I remember when she wore that prison outfit, but I don't remember a tag there. Is this them trying to throw in a joke for kids that's not a joke anymore?
I think so. I think they're trying to be relevant, and they were if this came out 4 or 5 months ago. Or 6, 7 months ago.
There you go. I do like when they show like her various former job outfits. It's a nice callback.
Yeah, and, she's been in prison. Yeah, so it's cool to see. She then discovers that it's 6 minutes past 7, and there's that 6-7 again, and asks Homer where the sitter is. Homer assures Marge that everything will be fine, and that they will have a delightful date night with his work friends and their current lovers. Marge continues to stress over what to wear. Homer is thankful to be a man, so he doesn't have to care about how he looks, and he gets to die 6 years earlier. Amen. Bart then asks about the location of their big night out.
So wait, you really had a date night at Clangers? That's a lame nostalgia bar for you voicemail-leaving dinosaurs.
Hey, how about a little respect? Unlike you pasty Chalamets, my generation faced real challenges. We stormed the beaches of MTV Spring Break in Cancun to taste test different sodas in the Cola Wars. I chose Pepsi, and I regret it every day of my life.
I give up. Jean jacket. It's 7:09. Now the sitter's 03 minutes later.
Honey, no one's more excited than I am to meet up with Carl and Naima and Lenny and whatever bizarre creature is crazy enough to date him. You go on ahead. I'll wait here for the sitter.
Go without you? But then I'd have to carry on a conversation with your work friends.
You'll do great. Just get Carl started on Bitcoin. You know all about crypto, right?
Superman's dog?
Steve.
Yes.
We don't talk about being soldiers in the wars.
That's true.
The Cola Wars.
Yeah.
Are you willing to admit what side you fought for?
Well, I went for the 3rd Defensive, fighting under the Royal Military of the RC Cola. I proudly serve the crown.
Well, my father was a soldier for Yum Brands, and so I got a deferment from Pepsi, so I didn't have to fight.
Had bone spurs from Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. That's who diagnosed them. Yeah, Dr. Pepper. Is it un-American or blasphemous to say that I actually prefer Pepsi over Coca-Cola?
Interesting. It's not correct, but it's not like blasphemous.
It's not correct. Coca-Cola, I'm not talking about the diet ones. I'm talking about straight ups.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Coca-Cola always coats my teeth in a weird way.
Sure.
I don't like it. Whereas Pepsi doesn't. Something really magical about buttered popcorn and Pepsi, not Coke.
Interesting. Okay.
I think it's better combo.
So,
And you know what? I know you make that joke. I like RC Cola just fine.
yeah, growing up, my parents were RC people, not radio controlled people. They were fans of RC Cola, but we were a Pepsi household mostly because of availability. And so I think that's probably why I'm partial to Coke. And also, I don't drink Coke or Pepsi all that often. So when I do, it hits. So the only times I'm really having a Coke is either at the movie theater with popcorn, with a cheeseburger or burger, or with Mexican food. And usually, if I can, I get it in a glass bottle. I actually don't mind Pepsi. I think they're very similar, and they're both fine.
I think it's the same with me. Like, my mom liked the Pepsi product, so that's why we always had Pepsi.
Mm-hmm.
And I fucking loved crystal clear Pepsi as a kid. I thought it was great.
Oh yeah, it was great.
But yeah, I don't drink either now. I haven't had like an actual Coke or Pepsi in God knows how long.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do go to the theaters, they only have Coke products, so I'm usually going to have like a Coke Zero.
Sure.
But let's face it, I'm an adult, and most theaters I go to have adult beverages, so I'm drinking a beer.
That's fair
instead
too,
of
yeah.
sugar water like you children do.
Is it weird? I know we've kind of talked about this before, but like the fact that Homer and Marge are now like living the nostalgia that we would also live. Like,
Well, they're technically younger than us now.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's depressing.
So even Homer referencing the Cold Wars, I think, is out of his age range. Like, he shouldn't mention that. That's an 80s thing. We barely should mention it.
That's true. Yeah.
It's more of a Gen X thing rather than a millennial thing.
Yeah.
I do like how he calls Bart like a pasty Chalamet. That's very fun.
Yeah.
Number one Knicks fan, Timothy Chalamet.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of hot that Marge knows crypto as Superman's dog rather than a cryptocurrency.
That is hot. I also really like, what am I going to wear? Screw it. I'll just put on a jean jacket. I've been there.
Like that outfit, though, the green dress and the jean jacket, like that just screams like 90s Portland girl to me for some reason.
Oh, yeah. It looks very, like, they look like a couple, like a Portland couple. Like, I like Homer's spring windbreaker, too.
It is. Although there was a funny joke coming up with that, but yeah, let's just continue, Steve. Homer sends Marge off to Clangers, suggesting other topics of interest such as Squid Game, if Squid Game was real. Also, Clangers sounds like a Hooters knockoff.
Yeah, but it's like guys with big testicles.
Yeah. Didn't we ever talk about coming up with that restaurant on this podcast?
Yeah. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I think there's an episode of Step by Step where they make that, like, where one of the kids works for a restaurant called, like, it's not Boners, but it might as well be Boners. And that's like the draw.
And Step by Step?
Yeah, yeah.
Family show?
Uh-huh.
Was Cody working there?
I think it was like the one oldest kid who had a mullet. I don't remember his name, but Patrick Duffy's kid.
So they're showing Hog at this restaurant?
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, it's called Hog Wild. That's what it was.
Something sounds fishy about your anecdote, Steve.
Fishy is across the street. It's a different restaurant.
Anyways. If Squid Game is real, like I said. CPAP cleaning hacks and why Jason Kelsey should be the next 007. I like that line because it's Jason, not Travis, the one that's
yeah
with Taylor Swift. Jason is that's the Kelsey I look like, right?
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Travis. Okay.
This is why he'd be perfect for Bond.
Jason Kelsey looks like he ate J.D. Vance and absorbed him, right?
Yeah, he does.
He's
yeah.
a bigger guy.
Yeah.
But Jason Kelsey also seems like he's the cool one, right?
I mean, I don't know much about the Kelseys, but, you know, if you think that the one not dating Taylor Swift is cool, then he must be pretty cool.
Did you get the invite to Madison Square Garden for the wedding? I got mine.
I'm still waiting.
Well, you know that she wants us to perform. We have to do an opening act. We have to do our podcast live.
Oh, yeah. See, she wants us to, like, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That's why I haven't gotten a ticket yet, because I have to perform, and so it's a VIP thing, and like I have all my writers. So my people are probably talking to her people. We'll work it out.
I guess they're booking us at the Trump Plaza, so we got a nice room there.
Nice.
I mean, I don't need to be booked there since I have like a residency there.
Right. And you have the credit card and the whole package deal. Yeah, you're a member.
My fridge is still filled with Trump steaks.
I've got my Trump watch on right now at 4:12 That's what time it says.
At the Retro Barcade, Springfield's millennials relive the youth they couldn't wait to get out of by playing vintage cabinet games such as Lee Carvello's Putting Challenge,
Nice.
Typewriter 2, Vending Machine, the arcade game, and Smelter Delta.
Krusty and Princess Persephone play Pop-A-Shot with Mr. Teeny and his partner on a double date. And Fat Tony's Gumas watch as he uses a gun to off the whack-a-moles.
Yeah, Princess Persephone. That's Anne Hathaway's character.
What's an Anne Hathaway?
About 120 pounds.
Thank you.
Actually, no. About like 128 pounds, because guess who's pregnant?
Oh, congratulations, Krusty.
No, Anne Hathaway's.
Oh, okay.
The real person, not the Shakespeare wife.
I see. Okay. Oh,
Do you think she's going to name her next kid Hamnet?
probably, yeah.
Anne Hathaway?
Yeah.
Only makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Marge walks into the vintage 50s diner portion of the 90s vintage establishment, hyping herself up to be social. So she tells herself that she'll be fine as long as she avoids discussing money, politics, or sex.
Marge then blurts out, "Republican tax cuts makes me horny." And after a brief, awkward moment, Naima announces that it's officially date night at Clanger's. After Marge meets Lenny's date, she begins to get comfortable.
Hi, Lenny. And you must be Amy.
That's what it says on my Starbucks cup. If I'm lucky, most of the time it says Arnie.
Coffee people do write the wrong name. Once on my cup, they wrote Sarge. I did an add-on. I'm fitting in.
Oh, where's that dirtbag teen I'm entrusting with my children? Maybe if I pace faster, Oh, she's here! Thanks, pacing. Oh, thank God you're injured!
Don't stress. I'm good. They gave me all the painkillers. And I've got some extra for the kids.
No, we were making a jump off the balcony video when she fell off the balcony.
The TikTok of me landing on a cornhole board got a like from Josh Gad.
So the beginning of the clip, I love the mundane adult talk and
yeah.
the fact that it's always, bringing up like the Starbucks employees don't know how to write or spell names.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just such a tired joke. It's very funny to the point where like that. I mean, obviously you've worked for Starbucks, you talked about before, but we've had friends. Obviously we know a lot about the Starbucks Corporation and like the theory that Starbucks. Now you can dispel this myth once for all, Steve.
Yeah.
That Starbucks tells you to write wrong names because it's free advertisement for Starbucks because people like to post on social media their misspelled Starbucks name because it's free commercial.
So I have not worked for Starbucks in...
since social media existed.
Well, yeah.
We had MySpace probably when you worked at Starbucks.
I'm literally closing in on 20 years since I worked there. Oh, wow. That's but anyway. And so they may have. I know that the management has changed hands several times, and they're not the company that they were when I worked there. However, their primary goal is efficiency to make customers come in and come out. That is like their primary goal. They are a customer creating business. They like when you walk in the door, they want you to have a drink in your hand within 2.5 minutes, and they want you out of the door within 3.5 minutes. And so I don't think they do that on purpose at all. I think it's just human nature to get things wrong. Also, people are just very self-centered. And so when they put down a cold drink and they call out John, if your name is Joanne and you ordered a small latte that is hot, it's probably not your drink. Wait a minute. That guy in front of you who ordered your drink before you is going to get their drink first. That's just the way it works.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, you would think. I remember when the naming convention thing happened in cafes, and there was a guy who thought he was so funny because every day he'd come in and he'd go, "I'm Batman." And And so we'd play along and be like, okay, I have an extra sweet mocha for Batman. And he'd be like, you called me Batman. And he's like, well, that's your name, isn't it? He's like, yeah.
Did you ever say sorry about your parents?
Yeah. I was like, sorry, Bruce. Oh, I mean, Batman.
Yeah, before the clip, too, it was Marge is like too nervous to hang out with Homer's work friends. And that's a very relatable thing of the couple, or not even just couples, but like friends, like, hey, we're meeting friends, and then like having like your significant other or like your partner, the one that knows them, like being your shoulder to like help you go through like the stages of shyness, I guess.
Right, yeah. It's also a hard dynamic when you have, you with your partner and you have your own like way of speaking your own language, and then you have like your social friends or your work friends, which might be a different dynamic, and you have to like make those worlds collide.
Yeah. I still think the funniest thing that happened was I was meeting you and your wife and your wife's sister, which are they're twins, we've said before, for like a trivia night. And like, I remember saying like, well, we're meeting separate because you and your wife were both getting off work and we're going to meet at the bar. And when I get there, I think your wife is there. So I'm talking to her, like it's her, but it's actually her sister. The whole time, like, oh my God, because I was just like talking to her the way I would just talk to your wife, and I don't think I ever really had conversations with your wife's sister before. Mm-hmm. Like, you probably say like hi or whatever, like not really have like friendly banter because like I didn't hang out with your wife's sister.
Sure, yeah.
So it just was really funny that like as soon as like your wife and you show up, I'm like, that's weird. Why is Steve with his wife's sister? We all got a good laugh out of that, though, right?
Yeah, good stuff.
And it's funny, it wasn't even your wife's twin sister. It was your wife's older sister.
Yeah, who looks nothing like her.
Yeah. No. I also want to, I don't know if this is just me noticing it, but when they're talking, when Marge is at the table with Lenny and Carl and their girlfriends, sorry, can't remember their names. Is that Caesar Mazariegos putting himself in the background underneath the Cosmic Wars poster? Okay. Like, that looks like Caesar, because he's always wearing like a hat, like a Dodger hat, but not a Dodger hat. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I actually looked it up, and because this episode is so jam packed. There's a lot of people in the background, a lot of couples like Milo and his wife, Comic Book Guy and Kumiko, just so many people. And I think I looked up, and he has like a canonical name too, not Caesar Mazariegos, even though it is Caesar Mazariegos.
Yeah, and he's with a female character. So now I'm trying to figure, is that actually it looks like he's with like who's the Asian lady realtor?
Cookie Kwan.
Cookie Kwan, yeah. For some reason I thought that was the character on Family Guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So is Caesar dating Cookie Kwan?
Could be. His official canonical name is Raiders' dad, but
Raiders' dad.
Not like the dad of Raiders, but just a fan of the Raiders who's also a dad.
All right, Steve, let's just go back to the show. I do like at the end, Shauna saying she got a like from Josh Gad.
Yeah.
Like that. Josh Gad is following some teenage girl and liking her videos. I don't know about that, Josh.
Not so good.
But Josh Gad is canonically dead, right? Because of Wonder Man, the TV show, the Marvel show?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Poor Kubert is a widow.
So finally, I could get all the roles in Hollywood that Josh Gad was supposed to get.
Exactly.
So seeing Jimbo and Shauna make out enrages Homer, and he kicks them out of the house. So over at Clanger's, Marge dishes out all of her hot takes, like how boneless wings are just tiny tenders, and how their night is fun, like an SNL sketch before the evening is ruined by a wacky behavior. I just love that line.
Yeah.
Marge just likes the setup of the sketches, but she doesn't like Lisa from Temecula, the Ego Woodham character.
Right. What a nice game show this is. Oh, no.
This Michael, Shay, and Colin Joe seem nice to each other. I hope they don't make them say silly jokes about each other.
It is the end of the season, after all.
Yeah, so then the table is visited by Aperol Fritz, who is handing out free Aperol Spritzes. I've never had an Aperol Spritz.
So it is a very light cocktail. Aperol is like an aperitif. It's like a lower alcohol liquor, and it might not even be considered a liquor because it's like 19%. And you usually mix it with like champagne or sparkling wine. And it's a really, like, easygoing drink that goes down quickly and is very... you can have one all day, but, like, if you're not, like, a regular drinker, it's a good drink to have because, you know, it's easy to drink.
I mean, I find all alcohol is easy to drink for me.
That could be the problem. It's also one of those things where it's kind of like fajitas, where people see somebody with an Aperol Spritz and then it makes them think, oh, I want one too. And so this is great cross-promotion. The Aperol brand having Aperol Fritz. I cannot wait to achieve him in Tapped Out.
If only you could.
I know.
Maybe he'll be a character in Monopoly Go.
Yes. Or maybe if they do Fortnite Part 2. Five Night.
I do have his action figure already.
Excellent. Meanwhile, Homer is determined to find a sitter, so he calls Principal Skinner. And after confusing his regular speaking voice with a voicemail message, Homer asks Skinner to watch his jerks. Because Abe isn't speaking to him, the yes guy said no, and unfortunately Miss Botts is still locked up for like 30 years now. And Flanders is too busy working his car. Or rather, the car is working on him, as a leaf spring has punctured his kidney. So Ned passes out after promising to take care of his organs should Homer need them at some point in his life.
Homer is willing to pay Skinner's annual wage for babysitting, assuming it's, $5 an hour. Seymour proudly states that as an educator, he never would stoop so low. Just then, Ralph asks him to wipe his little butt, calling him Principal Sitter.
I don't know. Well, first of all, Ralph should be able to wipe himself at this point. I feel like it's unethical, I don't know why, for your principal to watch your kid, but I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it does seem weird that a school faculty member... But, what if it was a teacher? Is that different, or...?
I don't know. Honestly, I guess it just feels weird, but I guess it's not... There's nothing wrong with it inherently. In fact, an educator should be a good babysitter, one would think, but...
Yeah.
And they don't make a lot of money, so they need the extra pay. So yeah, I guess it's fine.
All right.
So, hoping to get to the restaurant before the dipping sauces are full of crumbs, also, again, very relatable, Homer has the bright idea to use his door camera as a babysitter. He sets a cooler full of ice-cold drinks, snacks, and 3 tablets along with 3 lawn chairs. The kids just need to stay in frame as their daddy watches on his Ding app, even while he drives. And to ensure that Bart stays well behaved, Homer puts the dog's shock and paw shock collar around his neck. After receiving a jolt for leaving the designated area, Bart growls until he's sprayed in the face with water.
Like a dog.
Bark, bark.
So back at Clanger's, Carl agrees with Marge that the Olympics should take place weekly, since no one could possibly grow bored of that. And the rest of the table also enthusiastic with Marge's opinion that theaters would tell you what time the movie actually starts, not just the previews. And I think I read that some theaters are actually doing that now. It makes sense.
Yeah. I guess maybe because I see 3 movies a year in the theaters. I don't mind the previews because it's like a whole event, but I get it if you're going on a regular basis, a couple times a month, that if you're seeing the same previews over and over again, it will get tired.
And we famously on this podcast go to movies all the time. We talk about it.
Of course,
our,
yes.
Patreon, how Steve and I love going to the cinema together.
We're regular Siskel and that other guy.
Richard Roper.
That's the one.
I'm Gene Shalit and you're Rex Reed.
Wow, it's a tough month for... Man.
So Marge is ready to share her spice wisdom on masking tape when Homer pops in.
Masking tape?
The real fun begins now!
Homer! Good to see you.
Homie, this is going great. I don't know why I was worried I'd be bad at conversation. Everything's flowing so freely, and...
Hey, that's great. I got it from here. So, work bros, I think Smitty cheated on his March Madness bracket. He just wrote a U with a scribble so you can't tell if he's picking Yukon or UTEP. And I'm all like, which is it, Smitty? Miners or Huskies? Miners or Huskies?
Homer, please, there's 3 other people here.
Right. Who do you ladies like for WrestleMania this year?
So, Homer, the group was having a discussion about things that interest all of us. Amy found this amazing podcast where comedians talk to each other for hours but don't tell any jokes.
Oh, in the latest one, Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias talks about the bus crash that traumatized...
Cut that out and shut up!
Another great joke from Marge. Comedians not being funny on podcasts.
Yes. It's a whole genre.
We're not comedians, so she's not talking about us.
I would say that Gabriel Iglesias barely counts too, but that's just my opinion.
I'm not familiar with Gabriel Iglesias, so I can't make a joke about that individual.
I think, yeah, that's a way to play it safe. But yeah, also it is like it's funny because watching this, initially I'm like, okay, I know that Marge is going to get mad at Homer, but as a parent, I don't think he's doing a bad job. He seems to care. He waited for the babysitter and he was mad and Shauna was, all drugged up. But the move that he came in with the restaurant, just basically barrel housing the whole conversation and taking it over, that's a real dick move.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, I mean, he seems like a good parent at the beginning, but when he's using the camera for the babysitter, obviously that's not great. But the him, I'll wait, was nice of him. But the fact that, like you brought up, is because he's excluding Marge from conversation, but making the joke too of Marge, there's other people here. Oh, you're right. All right, Lenny and Carl's dates. What do you think
about WrestleMania?
But I do agree that Smitty most likely is cheating on his brackets.
Yeah, and they're debating Huskies or Miners. Miners or Huskies. Why not Husky Miners? Who doesn't love a Husky Miner? Their strong builds are great for finding ore.
So you're thinking of Husky little boys?
I wasn't thinking of Husky little boys. I was thinking of people working to find gold and ore in the mine shafts, but they have small, strong builds. I don't know why you're thinking of small children.
I was thinking of the dog, Steve. The dog.
Oh, okay. Of course. Homer yells at the kids through his phone under the table, telling them that they should sit down and be bored in porch jail. But the sprinklers went off, soaking Bart, Lisa, and Maggie, and Homer instructs them to just stamp the sprinklers back into the ground like anyone else would.
When Marge asks who Homer is yelling at, he hesitates before saying, "My crotchal area?" Marge is irate when she learns that Homer left the kids alone, even after he argues the doorbell cam is incredibly responsible and Lisa is armed with a very heavy brick in case she has to fight off, strangers.
So while Homer shouts at Bart about using his good rusty scissors to cut off the shock collar, Marge explodes with rage, shouting, "Sometimes I hate being married to you." Her outburst stuns everyone in the bar, including the whack-a-mole moles who sink their heads down slowly, and Pac-Man, who does a spit take.
Marge immediately apologizes and then asks Homer to go home and take care of the kids. After failing to bargain a game of Centipede, Homer leaves. Marge acknowledges how weird she made it, but the rest of the people at the table lie and say it isn't awkward at all. Lenny, Carl, and Naima then run off and play video games, leaving Amy, who kindly offers her Aperol Spritz to Marge, who chugs her own.
Though Marge loves him dearly, she has to admit that Homer has some crippling, unignorable flaws. If only he weren't the same homie, but different. One who doesn't fold under pressure and make awful choices. As she wishes for a bold and fearless hero, she looks over to see Lenny and Carl pilot flight planes in their dual-cabinet Jet Ace.
Looking into the orange hue of her lower alcohol beverage, Marge dreams what it would be like if Homer were a hotshot fighter pilot, the best of the best, a premium tier weapon, a Top Gun, if you will. Homer, aka Bold Eagle, soars through the air, declaring a need to go really fast. So he zooms past the Springfield sign, flipping the letters to spell out awesome.
This is an interesting episode because it's a vignette episode, but it's built around a whole episode. That's why it's a two-parter. And so this is our first one where Homer is Top Gun. So the Primo Ace Jet then does a roll call of his squadron, which includes Barney, a.k.a. Belch, Professor Frink, a.k.a. Quadball, and Mo as Open Sore. While they show Springfield a meaningless training flight for the ages, An 80s hair metal song plays, literally offering exposition of the jet causing impressive chaos across the city, flaring up the tire fire, turning Lard Lad cookies into Lard Lad donuts, and breaking the sound barrier. In the flight tower, Hans Moleman states that Homer is a brave dude to the max.
Skinner calls for Homer to pull up, but the ace pilot isn't satisfied with simply breaking the sound barrier. He also wants to break the smell barrier. He accelerates to dangerous speeds, his jet buckling under the pressure as odor emitter goes from silent to deadly.
A massive cloud of stink blasts through the air, killing the crops of a nearby farm and sending several geese to a demise more gruesome than those heinous acts committed by Sully Sullenberger. Homer lets out a colonic boom, sending odors from a week into the future.
Homer's tail engine breaks off and crashes into Moe's jet. Moe is proud to be his wingman, and as he descends to the ground, he asks Homer to let his dog out of his blue Honda. Moe dies in a ball of flames as Homer reports that he's landing and would like a new plane, one with a cup holder.
That's very nice. So from the tower, Chalmers is frustrated with Homer's out-of-control heroism, but Homer can't be bothered as he lands in a semi-vacant field, removing his helmet and shaking his lush, full head of brown hair. He then speeds through the streets on a motorcycle, or as the rock band calls it, a ground version of a jet. He then heads to the headquarters of the Fighting 799th, where he is disciplined by his superiors.
You ruined a $70 million aircraft, and your wingman crashed into Mount Springfield.
He knew the deal when he got drafted.
Simpson, I am ordering you to undergo psychological evaluation to determine the source of this reckless behavior.
Go ahead, sick a shrink on me. When that dude looks inside my head, whoever he is, that man won't find a thing. You tell that male doctor with his prominent Adam's apple and hairy boobless chest to go pound sand with his big masculine fists.
Why don't you tell me yourself?
Oh, that's some control tower you got up there.
And it spotted a pilot in distress. I'm going to get to the root cause of your dangerous fearlessness and help you get rid of it once and for all.
I've never seen Top Gun. I realize this. I watched it as a kid, and I saw the planes, and I bought the NES game and was disappointed, but I don't know that I've ever actually seen the movie.
So that means you've never seen Maverick?
This is also true with James Gardner.
Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, no.
How very odd. I don't know. I mean, look, I watched Top Gun a lot as a child. It was a family favorite, or at least my sister and I would watch it. And I mean, I loved planes as a kid. It could be partial because my dad worked on fighter jets. So I would get a lot of fighter jet toys as a child. And, I'm surprised I'm not a fighter pilot, but
you're more of a lover pilot.
I am. Yeah. So this one, mostly combines the Top Gun Maverick.
Okay.
Film, but with hints of the first film as well. I was want to talk about the animation before we continue. Throughout this whole episode, all the background animation, like the scenery, all looks like hand painted. I know it's not; it's all computer, but there's something different about it. It almost looks like paintings. Like the walls, everything looks like it's brushed on.
Yeah, you can see brush strokes on the chair that Homer's sitting in the office. It's impressive.
Yeah, and so all three segments have that kind of feel to it. And I love the Homer is wearing. He still has his M and G hair and the curl and on top of his regular hair. It's just a nice touch. Yeah, I wish they would have kept that with the next segment. That character who doesn't have it.
That's true. Yeah,
it's just funny that his little hairs are still there, and little is the key word.
Yes,
because we reveal that he is Tom Cruise sized when he stands up.
Also in that clip, I do want to say that other wingmen that he's lost include such people as Sherry Bobbins,
Herschel Kristofsky,
Barfly Larry, may he rest in peace,
Frank Grimes,
Dr. Marvin Monroe,
Bleeding Gums Murphy,
and Maud Flanders.
So there is some more in there that I'm not sure if, because there's another black man in glasses up on top next to Sherry and Herschel. Is that supposed to be someone from The Simpsons that also died?
I couldn't tell. And like the woman in the bottom left looks like Rhea Perlman, but I don't think it is.
Well, is it? Yeah, because there's also in the top right corner an older dude with mustache that has like a ponytail. Is that like George Carlin's character, or? I
had that thought, but I don't know.
I feel like and then another guy with like glasses in the middle, the first by Barfly Larry. Again, another. Are these like Simpsons writers? Is this Larry Wilmore up there? Is that Dan Greeley, or not Dan Greeley? Who was the one that died that did the Thor movies?
Oh, that's very possible. Yeah.
Is the bottom one Marsha Wallace? I don't think it is.
I don't think so, but I think you might be right. They might be writers,
or just someone. Yeah. Or they're just caricatures that we for fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe the internet or the listener would know, not the internet. Yeah. So Homer thinks Marge digging into his brain is pretty tall order from a lady like herself, but he'll allow it. So then, like I said, he stands up to reveal that he's tiny sized, and Homer wants therapy on his terms and hopes that Marge can, keep up.
So Marge is willing to enter the danger zone, providing Homer therapy at the speed of tears. So while the hair metal plays, Marge digs deep into Homer's psyche while on top of a moving train. As they hang off a steep cliff, Homer reaches for a Kleenex and the venture to enjoy some gas station sushi, only $3 a gallon.
So do you get free sushi if you spend $3 a gallon, or do you have to get 3 gallons worth of sushi, or gallons worth of sushi?
I think you have to buy sushi by the gallon.
That's a lot of sushi.
That is. And so, yeah, but $3, that's a good deal. It's probably questionable and probably not great, but still a good deal.
I'll do it. I'll try it.
I will say that if you're ever in Hawaii and you find yourself in a 7-Eleven, try the sushi. It's actually really good.
And from what I hear, Japan 7-Elevens are like the best thing ever.
Yes, they are. I've never been, but I've heard really good things. My sister-in-law went there and loved it.
I recently picked up a 7-Eleven pizza for 61 cents the other day.
And was it worth that 61 cents?
Hey, I didn't die. I didn't have any stomach issues. It's not great pizza, but we were getting together like a little potluck, and nothing like that's why we got them. It's just our regular people that we see, because a couple of our friends are going out of town, so we were just in a little potluck thing, and just as a goof, I was like, hey, let's get these pizzas, because on the app it was like they're $7.11, but it had an app, like a coupon code for $7 off, so they turned out to be like 11 cents, but you still had to pay like an app fee of 50 cents. So I might as well just see what happens, and we all survived, Steve. So
nice.
Yeah,
a ringing endorsement.
Now it sounds like I'm like really cheap, but 7-Eleven, the app has some like good deals. Like the other day it was like Father's Day, and there was like a $10 off 20 for 7-Eleven, so you could get like an 18 pack of Modelo for like $15, which at 7-Eleven is like highway robbery.
Good. Yeah. Man, now I want a Slurpee.
I thought you were going to say I wanted a Modelo.
A Modelo Slurpee? Sure. So Marge grabs onto Homer's shoulder as he lets out his flying squirrel-like wings, cutting through the air and dropping his bike into a bowling pin factory down below.
Looking to discover a source of Homer's fearlessness, she learns that he does actually have one fear, a fear of being afraid. Homer has a revelation. Fear scares him too much, so he yanks a parachute cord, and they are jerked up and then gently float down.
As they near solid ground, Homer tells Marge that his fear of fear is the reason that he's lost every single one of his wingmen, and thus is responsible for so many wing widows. Homer describes the vicious cycle of death, doing flyovers at one wingman's funeral, only to lose the next. As Homer sobs, he thinks that he lost his shot with Marge, since he showed vulnerability, the most unattractive thing you can do. But Marge feels otherwise. They kiss passionately, Marge even picking up the little guy.
Oh, you cured me. I finally conquered my fearlessness.
Betraying my professional code of ethics has never felt so good.
Simpson, thank God you're here. America's greatest enemy is preparing to attack.
Who? China?
No, not China. Oh, God, no. Not China.
Russia!
No, not Russia either, no.
North Korea?
Stop naming real countries! Now, your target is the weapons-grade nuclear reactor recently discovered in a heavily fortified slot canyon in the rogue nation of Non-Exististan.
Only America should be able to wipe out all life on Earth.
Yes, well put, urine test.
So since you haven't seen Top Gun Maverick, that's kind of a good joke is...
I'm aware, yeah.
That they have to literally blow up the Death Star. Like they have to do a trench run like in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
But the country is not named. The enemy is not named. It's just the enemy because they don't want it to be an actual nation. Because, you know, they got to sell this movie overseas.
Exactly,
so that's why you don't see like any of the bad guy pilots' face. So that's like the first movie too. You don't see... although I think I swear in the first one they are supposed to be Russian because that was a Cold War at the time. But the second one, that's the joke is no one knows what country we're trying to stop.
I love how in the 80s it was Russians and then it was vaguely Middle Eastern people in the early 90s and then they realized we need to sell tickets across the world, so it became places like Non-Exististan. Where they have great resources like unobtainium.
One of my favorite Bond films is The Living Daylights. It's one of the two that Timothy Dalton is in. And literally at the end of the movie, he fights with the Taliban. Because at the time, you know, in the 80s, we were supplying the Taliban because they were fighting against Russia and against the communists. And so they were allies to the Western civilization. So yeah, I loved being enemies with Russia. You know, I still am.
That's a hot take, but yeah, I think so. And I also like Otto's line, Urine Test line. Only America should be able to wipe out all of life on Earth.
I know you hearing us, Iran? Only us.
Yeah. Now here's a bunch of money to get back to the status quo. Not a political podcast.
Because our people in America don't need that money, Steve.
Right, of course. Why would we? Our economy's doing great. It can take a minimum wage worker over an hour to buy a pound of beef, but it's fine.
Oh, Steve, I'm looking at our notes. Not a political podcast.
Oh, sorry.
So the only hope for success to perform a coffin roll, a complex corkscrew maneuver that only Bold Eagle would be insane enough to perform. So Homer steps up when called, saying that he isn't afraid to be afraid. He then drops to his knees, saying that he can't do the coffin roll, and that he even finds the name to be scary. He then runs out of the room, shrieking so loudly he breaks the window, as well as Hans Moleman's aviators. As Moleman puts it, that dude is a cowardly to the max. And I think that's a reference to, there was a guy in the first Top Gun movie that would, when Maverick would like do flybys, he'd always spill his coffee.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So, tasked with unfixing her work, Marge tells Homer that his country needs him to get back his fearlessness for one last mission. She instructs him to hop in the cockpit, assuring him that she'll be with him along the way, and that there will be plenty of crying sex afterwards. With the help of Marge's uppies, Homer hops into his jet and joins his new squadron, consisting of Kearney, alias Hammertoe, Disco Stew, a.k.a. Wheat Allergy, and John Hamm as Cameo. And Homer, who goes by Unsure Guy.
A nice reference, because John Hamm was the Skinner role in Top Gun Maverick.
It's funny, too, that of the three segments, this is the one that has John Hamm.
Yeah, he was in Top Gun Maverick, so...
Yeah, and he wasn't in Joker, so I guess so. It makes sense.
Well, Marge promises to be with Homer as she makes good, flying alongside him as Blue Angel, in the process of mid-air-P. So Marge tells Homer to unload his feelings as his infrared-guided AIM-9X Sidewinder missiles. So Homer works through his emotions, becoming fearless once more. Marge uncured the cure she cured before.
So Homer's all set to kill his intentionally vague foes with the GLC formation, Of course, GLC standing for Gabbo, Love Tester, Cromulent. The large-hammered John Hamm sacrifices himself to defeat the enemy, despite the fact that he's too famous to die.
I just love the GLC formation is just, in a way, like, lazy in a funny way. Like, I'll just give them, like, words that Simpsons fans know.
Exactly, yeah.
After some impressive dogfighting, Homer is all set to perform the coffin roll. Skinner warns him that his plane is in no condition for the maneuver, calling the act suicide. Homer confidently corrects Seymour, saying, "It's themicide."
Badass. Homer is then successful, thanks in large part to Marge, the best wingman a pilot could ever hope for. It then dawns on Homer that all of his wingmen face a tragic end. Marge remembers that too, just as a core reactor crushes her to death.
So I like the animation too of the planes like flying and like just going up and defying gravity, or like, you know, like defying all laws of physics. That's funny stuff. But that's the end of Top Gun Maverick. The Marge character, I don't think is a reference to any character of the film.
Okay.
It's funny that she's also like flying with him. That's the only thing I can think of is the Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, because they fly together in the beginning. All right, well, Steve, let's go back to Clangers. Marge shouts, "Non-existent," which is a relief to Amy, who notes that Marge has been staring off into space and drooling for the past 8 minutes. It's, you know, I've been doing like a rewatch of Scrubs, and they've made many jokes now, like the later seasons of like JD always like looking off into space because he's having those fantasies. And so like, oh, JD's off in his fantasy for 12 minutes, so we can go and do whatever. It's just funny that she's... I'm just trying... In my mind, it's just hilarious that someone's just there, like, drooling, and, like, not even like, "Hey, Marge, are you okay?"
Yeah, I feel kind of bad. Like, Amy is clearly kind of, like, not the most interesting person. She's very generic, and she's dating Lenny, so I don't know what's wrong with her. But she's very patient because Lenny and Carl and Naima are all playing video games, and she's stuck with Marge, who is just zoning out. So, yeah. Good on Amy.
We love Amy on this podcast.
Yes.
In fact, you could say we're chasing Amy.
Yes. And if you seek Amy, then call Britney Spears. Homer returns to the yard of 742 Evergreen Terrace, telling the kids that much like American democracy, his stupid experiment has failed. He will babysit his own children, allowing them to sit in front of the TV while he goes through their parents' medicine cabinet.
But that's him. That's his medicine cabinet. So as Homer goes to open the door, he realizes that he left his keys in his summer windbreaker back at the restaurant. He begins to worry that they are trapped outside when it might get windy, and he has nothing to break it with. Bart notes that he drove there, but Homer explains that he's been starting his car with a screwdriver ever since he lost his keys in the fall pea coat.
I like that he has seasonal coats, and he loses his car keys in each one of them.
I mean, if they're still in the pea coat, look in the pea coat.
Exactly. Lisa grabs a fake rock that Marge hid a backup key in, but Homer throws the rock through his bedroom window. And Bart calls his daddy an idiot, but Homer argues that he isn't a geologist. Marge uses the Ding door camera to watch from her phone, feeling frustrated all over again. She knocks back another Aperol Spritz and looks for some insight from Homer's closest acquaintances.
What's his whole deal?
Good provider?
The go-getter?
You're just saying that because you're his friends with benefits. You know, because you're all on the same health and pension plan. This round's on me. What? I just paid this month's bill. Homer spent $3,000 on a vintage Centipede arcade game.
Hurry it up, guys. The chump sprung for 1 hour shipping.
Oh, why can't I have a normal, responsible husband? Like they used to have in those movies from the 50s, with businessmen played by Rock Hudson. Now there was a man's man. So steady, so safe, so conventional.
So, is Homer fucking Lenny and Carl? That's the question we're all asking.
It used to be, is are Lenny and Carl fucking, but now it's Homer. Is he doing the fucking?
Because the way, she says friends with benefits, and the way that Lenny and Carl look at each other, like she knows, and then it's just because they have the same insurance. And they're relieved. So there is fucking going on, I guess. That's implied. This is canon, folks.
Yeah. There's a lot that happens in Sector 7G. Who's to say?
Homer is having gay sex with Lenny and Carl.
Yep, it's true.
All right.
And Marge wishes that he could be a real man's man like Rock Hudson instead.
Who was also fucking Lenny and Carl.
Man, Lenny and Carl get around. Once again, Marge looks near the bubbles of her drink and envisions a different version of Homer, this time pitching an ashtray expansion program in the offices of Amalgamated Components. Homer, taking the role of one of those Madison Avenue men, or I guess you could call them Mad Men for short, shows the uninterrupted desk side smoking will improve productivity exponentially quarter after quarter.
Oh, is that what Mad Men means? Is Madison Avenue Men?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well, I've never saw the show. I just thought they were fans of Alfred E. Newman.
Who isn't? I mean, Don Draper's famous line was, "What? Me worry?" They're always folding paper in that show, too.
I also assumed that, like, at one point, a rabid raccoon bit them all. That's why they were mad.
Yes.
Like
that's happened in season 5.
Yeah, like they couldn't drink water because it would just foam. It would just foam at the mouth, but vodka was fine to drink because that's okay.
That did seem to kind of be their MO, is to drink lots of booze and not a lot of water.
Water. So aside from the decreasing ash disposal disruptions, Homer's proposal will improve efficiency, profit, and most importantly, conformity. Even the company's number man is behind Homer. Fiscal stew forecasts growth in quarter 2. So after receiving hacking coughs of approval, Homer is sent back to the junior executive floor of anonymity, where he can continue with his toiling.
I gotta say, the casting of the boardroom of Springfield characters looks so good as Mad Men characters. Even Dewey Largo playing Salvatore, who is a closeted gay man in the show, really good. And just everyone looks it's just great. Really well done. So Homer works away among a sea of desks full of other employees in their suits typing away until the day ends and they can make their way home. On the elevator ride down, Barney praises Homer's presentation, saying there may be an executive position for him in optimization, which is a whole different realm than his current role in efficiency. Barney questions if Homer really has what it takes to climb that corporate ladder.
I thought you had lead in your pencil, whiskey in your coffee, sand in your hula hoop. I have all those things in those things, metaphor-wise. That's very wise, wisdom-wise. Play your cards right, and you'll get one of these. The key to the executive washroom. You'll be getting your shoes shined while sitting in a marble-lined toilet stall. A seat as cold as ice and a flush as loud as thunder. You can seal the deal with the big boss at his country club party tomorrow. This could be the most pivotal moment of your life. I did survive Normandy. We would have won without you.
Yeah, this is very much like the first season of Mad Men, where Don Draper is like living this very cookie-cutter normal life, but there's something out there beyond. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, and the colors and the animation is really great.
When are they going to make a prequel series with Don Draper in the war?
I would love that, because if you know the lore of Mad Men, you know that is very important, because there is a whole Armin Tamzarian type situation that happens.
What would you call it? Before they were mad, they were...
sad men.
And does...
sergeants and dictators.
That's what John Hamm calls his penis, the dictator. I don't know, because he's got a large hog, Steve.
Yeah, and it looks like a potato.
Didn't he use his huge hammer to beat up college students when he was in college?
Like, I don't know that I've heard that he used his penis to slap around some college kids, but maybe.
I mean, he definitely did some heinous hazing. Like look it up, Steve. It's a fact.
Okay.
So on the train ride home, Homer flips through the pages of Suburban Malaise magazine Reading 10 ways to rationalize his drinking, he then is joined by Kirk Van Houten, who figures Homer must be ranking in at least a cool $7,000 a year.
They arrive at the Teverton stop, where the conductor tells the riders to take a moment to consider the post-war dream of prosperity has curdled into an empty spiritual hole at the center of one's existence that is filled with alcohol and loveless casual affairs.
Kirk then tells Homer to keep providing for his lovely wife and kids. He then rips off his clothes, revealing a ripped body that swims home, going from backyard pool to backyard pool.
So, passing Tar Lad cigarettes, Homer hops into the passenger seat of a car and kisses his wife, played by Helen Lovejoy. And they discuss how pitiful Kirk is, swimming to an empty house every night. Helen wonders who would ever find an athletic loner like that attractive. And then their two boys, Dirk and Burke, pop up from the back seat, both looking an awful lot like Kirk.
So is Helen Lovejoy January Jones?
Yes, this is kind of... The kids not being Homers or Don Drapers is not part of it, but they both have extramarital affairs as the show goes on. Spoiler alert to a show that ended 10 years ago.
It's fine, you can spoil it for us.
The 60s happened.
No. So it's just weird seeing Homer paired with Helen. It's a funny combination.
It is, and also it took me a little bit too long to realize that was Kirk Van Houten, not an aged-up Milhouse. So when they eventually kiss, it's not that weird.
I mean, he's got Milhouse kids. You should have figured it out.
What can I say?
It's just weird they couldn't get...
I'd rather see Milhouse bone than Kirk bone. That's what I'm saying.
Right. So at the dinner table, Helen encourages Homer to attend an upcoming party so he can be one step closer to promotion. Homer agrees that it would move up, cost living-wise, but he's only been with the company for 10 years.
Yeah, you can't expect growth after only 10 years
No.
in one company. Dirk and Burke are impressed hearing about the glorious executive washroom, and Helen feels that Homer should do whatever it takes to get that promotion, even if he has to work late nights in the city, leaving a spot open in their marital bed for, any fit swimmers who may be hanging out in the neighborhood.
At the big party, Helen pushes Homer to grovel like the wind. He's willing to debase himself in front of his boss, Wiggum. But he needs some liquid encouragement, so he heads to the bar and orders a now fashioned, it's very funny. So he sips his cocktail unaware of the woman working the bar until she asks about his troubles.
What's eating at you, Daddy-O? You're sweating like Dalton Trumbo reading the blacklist.
I'm supposed to talk to the boss about getting a promotion. It's everything I want in this life.
Really? That's what you want? To be a soulless cog in the capitalist machine? Just another yes man in a world full of yes men?
Yes! Yes?
No, that's not for you. You don't want that sad, sad life. 3 martini lunch, 6 martini drive home. Also, you can keel over with your face in an ashtray while working late on the Henderson account.
You're a little presumptuous for a bartender and or female.
I only sling sidecars to keep me in bread and bongos. I'm an artist.
Who's Marge supposed to be?
I don't remember the character's name, but in the season 1, Don Draper has a side piece who is an artist, and he'll pitch advertising ideas off of her, and then they bone, and she lives this bohemian lifestyle. And then she returns in season 4 or 5, addicted to heroin and with some junkie dude, and she tries to sell him his artwork, or her artwork, so they can buy groceries, which is actually drugs.
Oh, so groceries are drugs?
Everything's drugs to beatniks. Except for jazz. That's groceries.
Okay. But you don't know the actress?
I can look it up. I don't remember her name. She doesn't have a big part.
Okay.
He has a whole slew of women that he sleeps with, so what's one more? Marge shows off her art drawn on cocktail napkins. It perfectly captures Homer's soul. Devastated by finally seeing the truth, Homer discovers that he doesn't really want an empty life promised to him, but he feels trapped.
So with her tip jar full of cash, Free Spirit Marge invites Homer to leave the world of mindless yes-men and his own wife's infidelity. Marge is ready to get out there and head into a world where every neck is turtled.
So as Cool Bebop plays, Homer and Marge enter a world inspired by 50s comic drawings, going to a coffee shop to live that beatnik lifestyle full of dancing, jazz, and espresso, and as mentioned, plenty of heroin. They dance through an art gallery, they deface an I Like Ike poster making it say, I question Ike. And this braven act of nonconformity causes Mr. Vanderbilt to pass out.
After a cameo of Steve playing the bongos with another bald Steve, there's just two bald guys that look like Steve, apparently. I had to bring that out. Marge and Homer dance from rooftop to rooftop, kissing by the light of the moon, as well as the glow of the tire fire. And Marge feels that maybe a higher power is bringing them together.
Don't you feel like this great cosmic energy is pushing us together?
Like I never felt like this free before. I never thought I'd use this many likes in a sentence. I think I'm in love, with you.
You're a poet. Let's run away together to California.
I'll do it.
The bus leaves Cheverton Station in 2 hours.
I love you, artistic bartender chick.
I love you, mindless capitalist stooge.
I really love that animation bit with Marge and Homer dancing through the coffee shop. It might be my favorite scene of the whole episode. But also just this whole bit is just a lot of fun. Like Homer wanting to live that artistic life, like having to choose between conformity and a free spirit. It just really speaks to me. I like it.
Well, let's just get on with the animation.
All right. So Homer loads up his wardrobe of suits and white dress shirts and throws them out the window. Helen walks in wondering where he's headed. And while Homer was busy doing God knows what in God knows what kind of animation style, she buttered up his boss.
Helen presents the key to the executive washroom, symbolizing that he got the promotion. So at the Cheverton Station, Marge stands out of the New Life Express bus as a folky song sung by Tegan and Sarah describes a hopeful time full of hopeful hope, offering a feeling that is warm and vague, like when you need a nap.
That sounds like good. I like that feeling a lot. She sees Homer in the distance, and Marge is filled with joy, but is then disheartened as she watches Homer board the conformity local train. And later, Homer sheds a tear as the squeaky-voiced teen polishes his shoes while he drops a massive deuce in the executive washroom of Amalgamated Components.
Marge snaps out of her fantasy, remarking that it was really sad, but the driveways were spotless. So feeling too drunk to find meaning, Marge instead checks on Homer, who's trying to reach the doorknob through the mail slot. Lisa isn't sure he can, but Homer determined as he liberated 1,000 Snickers and 1 accidental bag of apple chips.
You gotta shake the machine, you can't just reach up. Bart then has the bright idea to pour a bag of birdseed down his father's ass crack. Homer fails to see the brilliance of Bart's plan, but Bart is delighted as several birds and a squirrel munch on Homer's ass like he was Allison Williams.
All right. Marge wonders how Homer is so broken, and Amy offers her own opinion. And Amy wonders if Marge is perhaps ignoring one of Homer's traumas. After correcting Amy's head tilt, Marge states that dating Lenny doesn't really make anyone a dating expert.
Harsh. I love anytime people reference the head tilt, like when people are talking about a breakup or anything, and like people tilt their head to like show empathy, and just like, yeah, you're fine. She then points out that Lenny has a habit of faking eye injuries to avoid intimacy. Amy doesn't believe it, but Lenny proceeds to crack pepper into his eyeballs, saying that he has to leave for 3 weeks. It's a good callback, too. That's why his eye's always getting hurt. After Amy runs off, Marge assures Carl and Naima that she won't ruin their night.
Marge dumps out a Clanger's coin cup, dumping all of the leftover Aperol spritz into it. So she leaves the bar with her road drink, declaring couple's date night to be over. She bids the Aperol Fritz auf Wiedersehen, calling him an imaginary cocktail leprechaun, despite him saying that he is in fact real. He does exist, and his name is Steve. Hey, that's your name.
Yeah. Me and Fritz go way back. Pulling up to the house in a cab, Marge realizes she's not ready to go inside. She has to go someplace where a person can wallow in their lowest moment with zero chance of being judged. And that place is, of course, Moe's, where Marge is served a low moment wallow. Marge notices the drink resembles an Aperol Spritz, but Moe explains that it's actually vodka and rust. Yum. Marge then spills her guts.
Moe, for the first time in my entire married life, I didn't want to enter my own home.
Whoa, I guess Homer did something really bad this time.
Oh, he's done worse. It's just that over time it builds up, like fuzz in a lint trap, until one day you get home and your whole damn dryer is on fire. I just keep wondering what it would be like to be married to a different Homer. Maybe one who wasn't so full of rage, who could go through life with a smile on his face.
Great. Well, just keep staring into your drink. Maybe something will happen.
A smile on his face.
So we've seen this before, like Marge is upset with Homer, but this one feels like heavier.
And it's fun to see her going to Moe's and getting drunk. After being drunk.
Yeah, getting drunk at the second location is always a good idea.
Always bar hop is what we're saying.
Exactly. But take a cab.
Or a Waymo.
Sure.
Marge once again imagines an alternate version of Homer, this one very bone-thin, with a beaming smile on his face. He looks happy despite living in squalid, run-down apartment, and despite Kent Brockman reports on the grim state affairs of Darkham City, which is still suffering from a deep and oppressive decay. Why, it's almost plagiarizingly reminiscent of an early Scorsese film.
Interesting. In that grimy urban hellscape, comic book guy adds his used inflatable girlfriend to the fire of burning sex dolls, and Snuffman stands outside of his Chinese theater, and Otto shoots at the cops as he drives by Lurid Lad bondage shop. I like that Lurid Lad was in all three imagination segments, and something different, and as well as the tire fire. Very cool.
We may not know just which spark will set the city on fire, but we do know it's time for late evening program with Krusty the Clown. Taking the stage, Krusty jokes that if the sanitation strike continues in its 6th week, he'll need to hire a Sherpa to help him climb over the piles of trash to find a sex worker.
The audience laughs, as does Homer, who thinks that Krusty still has it. Abe, bathing naked in a tub nearby, tells Homer that he's the only one who still laughs at that degenerate clown. Krusty helps Homer forget his troubles briefly, though Abe isn't sure what troubles Homer could possibly have, as he tells Homer to rinse him off with their soul broth ladle.
It's funny that the first segment is like a Top Gun parody, which for some reason you've never seen Top Gun or Top Gun Maverick. And then the next one is kind of like Mad Men inspired, and I've never seen Mad Men. But then the third segment is a Joker and then a Joker Folie à Deux parody. We have seen those movies, so now we know the references.
Exactly, and I really think it's well done combining the two movies so tightly and getting rid of all the bullshit of the second one.
It's funny how like that scene is when he's bathing in the Joker movie. He's bathing his mom. I always thought it was weird. He's just like, all right, here's my naked mother, and I'm bathing her. I just don't. I would never do that. Maybe I was a bad son. Especially now, I don't think we would bathe our mother in the nude.
I don't think so. Get dust everywhere.
I was going to say, our moms have a little bit more meat than Homer does in this segment.
That is true, yeah.
Our mothers are dead, listener. That's why we're making the joke.
Yes, we're horrible people. I mean, we didn't kill them.
That's for the jury.
At least I know I didn't, but
that's for the juries to decide.
Exactly.
That's the season 3 of Jury Duty. That's the premise. I figured it out.
I like it.
Just this whole, like, him bathing Abe was just a gross scene.
It really is. It's very bleak. And also, Homer's Joker model is accurate, but also very creepy.
So as he bathes his daddy, Homer shares the news that social services has set him up with a job. As he says this, he reveals his condition of uncontrollable, creepy laughing, just like in the movie. And luckily for him, the condition won't be an issue at his new job.
So over at Clown for You Discount Buffoon Rentals, where the clowns are deloused monthly, Homer stands in the locker room wearing only ratty white underpants, well, mostly white, as Snake calls for the rental clowns together to remind them that they're not Krusty, but rather his unaffiliated, unlicensed friend Crummy. After chanting the motto, "No lawsuits," Homer has a laughing fit, and Snake praises his enthusiasm before whispering that he should not be allowed to the preschool graduation.
It's also funny that Snake is the one that's in charge of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's good. So while spinning the sign outside of King Toot's music store, Homer has a moment of hope. He's good at being a clown, and maybe his life could be more than merely a bathtub full of filthy soup. He then has a tomato thrown at him, gets hit in the gut with a trombone, smashed with a cymbal, stepped on by Disco Stew's performing shoes, and then smacked upside the head with the family ladle from Abe. It's also funny that Ned Flanders is also the one that's hitting him with the trombone, and the cymbals are Rotten Todd.
That is funny. So walking by such bleak businesses as the Wall Street Urinal, the Herpico STD Clinic, and Food Fellas, Homer is greeted by the bullies who are sitting on the stoop. Homer's condition forces him to burst into laughter, and Nelson thinks that he's being mocked.
So the bullies take Homer to an alley and beat him up. In the between kicks, Homer holds up a business card that says, "Excuse my uncontrollable laugh. I have a convenient psychological condition." Learning about Homer's condition, Nelson feels that it's a little messed up to stomp him. So Kearney agrees, and Dolph points out that Homer made them feel bad about themselves, and then the beating continues.
Again, this is a really nice beat-for-beat, literally, version of the Joker, so I like this. So Homer's kicked and kicked until he's kicked down those iconic stairs, falling and falling and falling and falling, letting out an annoyed grunt as he hits each step. And then he continues to fall, and then lands on his feet, does a quick dance, kick, and then commences the falling again and again over the same frame. You even see Barney sitting there until he finally hits bottom. He wakes up in the hospital to a familiar voice.
Last night, one of my biggest fans was brutally attacked on the streets of Darkham.
Krusty.
He was stomped and beaten and thrown down Origin Story stairs, all because he was dressed like little old me.
Krusty loves me.
It was a senseless, brutal crime committed by my 4 hilarious guests, the Stamp Brothers! You guys really revolutionized comedy with the way you beat the crap out of that loser! Roll the tape!
Why, Krusty? Why?
Because it's hilarious!
It's pretty ballsy to show the clip of him falling downstairs yet again. But at faster speed, because it did go on forever and ever. And like, do it again.
Yeah, I appreciated that. That's a lot of fun. And yeah, Krusty does appear from nowhere next to Homer in his hospital bed, asking him why he isn't laughing. Homer grabs an oxygen tank and begins to hit the clown, telling him that he isn't funny. And Homer continues to pummel Krusty, saying that nothing is funny. And blood splatters as Homer declares that he's the stomper now. And then we discover that he actually beat the rich Texan to death.
So taking a moment to witness what he's done, Homer feels liberated, saying that nothing will knock him down. He's then hit in the head by a billy club wielded by Chief Wiggum. Once again, he falls down several flights of stairs. So then he's dragged through the halls of Darkham Asylum, the madhouse with a newly remodeled gift shop. As he's flung into his cell, Homer hits his head and begins to bleed. His bleak, disgusting world may be sad, but at least he's not alone.
I know you. You're Homer.
A beautiful lunatic knows my name?
Everybody knows you. The whole city saw what you did to that rich guy. Everyone is on your side in your fight against authority. You're not just infamous. You're famous. Look.
Do they want to stomp me?
No, they want to be you.
This crowd of clown celebrators, or clown cells, have gathered in support of the vigilante who struck a blow against systemic injustice by murdering a rich man who was donating money to the hospital. They have dubbed their new hero the Doker.
Thanks for making me feel seen and feared, Doker.
Snuffman is ready to unleash his toxic male rage. Doyak! Doker! Doker!
Those angry maniacs will follow you anywhere.
It's kind of funny that, Marge in life, kind of a straight arrow, kind of, plays by the rules. And yet, in 2 of the 3 visions of Homer, she wants him to be a nonconformist and fight authority. And, I don't know, just kind of interesting.
These are, after all, her visions. So
Yeah.
she is trying to shape Homer the way she wants him to be.
To be more like Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, the first segment, right, it was overcoming fear, or...
Well, first of all, overcoming his fearlessness.
Yeah.
And then allowing that fearlessness to go away. But in the second one, she wants him to, not get the 9-to-5 grind and instead be a crazy beatnik artist. And in this one, she wants him to be a vigilante who kills the wrong person for a good message.
I do like the animation style on Marge. It's a lot different. It doesn't look like Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn or a Margot Robbie Harley Quinn. It's just a unique, it's not Marge, the hair color is the same, but the face is not reminiscent of Marge at all.
I love the eye makeup, and it's just a different off-model thing, and the way that they're both so different, but still them, it works really well.
Well, Marge lets Homer know that his fan base is willing to die for his cause, but he's not sure he really has one. Marge assures him that his cause is to get back to all the people in this rotten society that hurt him. She tells him to do it with a smile, smearing the blood oozing from his head wound across his lips. She asks Homer to do her next, and she bangs her own head against the wall until she's bleeding enough to paint her face.
And it may be the 39 flights of stairs that he fell down, but Homer swears that he hears a slow, haunting version of a song that is typically fast and funny. A haunting chorus sings "Happy Song Done Ironic," while Homer and his companion chokes out a guard. A kick to the groin and a key through the guard's neck, and the Doker is free.
Marge does a flip, kicking Wiggum out of the jail and to his death, while Homer uses a sign-spinning skills to decapitate several inmates who are charging at him. The happy couple dance as they raid the gun locker. I like how the gun locker is just a giant red button to open it.
Yeah.
So they hand out 2 fellow convicts, such as Sideshow Bob, Bumblebee Man, and Hank Scorpio. There's some other people in that look familiar too. One looked like Michael Keaton's character from the prison episode.
Yes, and also Steve Buscemi's character in that other episode that is basically that episode too.
Oh, right. Okay.
And maybe, I'm trying to think, of course we got Dr. Nick. Maybe an aged up version of the vegetarian that Lisa had a crush on, voiced by JTT. So as the world around them is set aflame, Homer proposes to Marge. They steal a cop car and Marge drives off while Homer sticks his head out of the window to feel the breeze through what's left of his hair. He then hits his head on a hot dog stand, a stop sign, and a parking meter. As they speed through town, news of their escape begins to spread.
The Doker has escaped. The peeved Pagliacci broke out of Darkham Asylum with maniac pixie dream girl Marge Quinn by his side. They're leading an army of similarly shod antisocial sickos with no clear purpose or motive.
I have but one purpose and motive, and they are clear. To kill Krusty for using his television show, to lose her shame his biggest fan!
Kill Krusty! Kill Krusty! So, Vonnegut, will I understand Slaughterhouse-5 if I didn't read the first 4?
Slaughterhouse-5, or as it's also known, The Children's Crusade, is a darkly humorous exploration of the randomness of existence.
Die, Krusty! Die, Krusty! This is for humiliating me and for every bad thing that's ever happened to anyone since and including the beginning of time!
Great cameo from Kurt Vonnegut Jr. I like that he's talking about the randomness of the world as he's randomly killed for no reason.
R.I.P. Kurt Vonnegut.
Indeed. Also, Krusty's line about, will I get Slaughterhouse 5 if I haven't read Slaughterhouse 1 through 4? I love that kind of joke. Those verses of jokes, always funny to me.
So not joke jail for you?
Not for me, no.
So if I say, have you watched Mickey 17 yet?
No, I still need to catch up on Mickey 1 through 16. But I'm still going through the Malcolms. I got 1 through 5. I still have 7 through 8. So I guess I'm Malcolm in the middle.
All right.
Before I get to Malcolm 10.
Homer throws Krusty to his clown cell fan base who beat the shit out of him. Homer happily states that they solved all of society's issues by killing his favorite talk show host. Don't let the president see this sound clip. Marge thinks that this is just the beginning. There is nothing stopping them to setting the world afire. Especially since Batman is contractually not allowed to, exist in their universe. Who did the Joker movies? What's his name? Not Adam McKay.
Is it Todd Phillips or
Todd Phillips doing the Joker movies? Like, he didn't want to make a sequel to the first Joker movie, and so that's why he made Joker 2 the way it was, just to fuck off, piss off everyone, right?
And I think he did a good job.
Right? He's like, yeah, this is a shitty movie. Good job. Not he's like, I don't want to make another Joker movie, and now I made it so you don't have to. I mean, spoilers, they kill him at the end, and I think fans were mad because he wasn't actually the Joker.
Right.
But
it's the King of Comedy, Part 2.
Yeah. Would you watch Joker fully ado again? I think I would.
It was a real struggle. I mean, I guess I would. At the time, I was just real bored with it. And, this episode of The Simpsons is real, give me all I need from it, so.
I think you're right. Yeah, just watch this.
So, feeling loved for the first time in his life, Homer kisses Marge passionately. And his stooges see this and stop beating up Krusty. Because if the Doker is happy and loved, then he isn't a self-celibate freak like they are. Since he has a girlfriend, the Doker wannabes beat up the crazed man that was their hero mere moments ago.
Marge wakes up in Moe's, happy that at least she and Homer ended up together in that fantasy. She may be the fanciest person to pass out at Moe's, but it's time for her to go home. Walking down the street with a sore head, Marge isn't even sure which version of Homer she actually wants.
So, walking through the trash yard full of snacks, birdseed, and a tipped-over centipede cabinet, Marge reluctantly walks in the house to find it empty. So after going from room to room, Marge finally finds Homer in the treehouse, sleeping peacefully with Bart, Lisa, Maggie, and even Santa's little helper.
There he is, my Homer.
I'm sorry about everything.
It's okay.
I know all you wanted was a fun couple's night out, and I couldn't even really be there.
Oh, you were there. You're the bravest, smartest, happiest Homer for me. You're perfect.
Marge kisses Homer on his forehead, and we see Marge Lee Quinn hug the combination of her Homers as she sits behind him in the cockpit of his fighter jet, and that's how our 1 hour spectacular Disney Plus special ends.
Wow. Quite the episode. I think we need a break to think about what we just saw. So let's do that, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, we're back. Let's finish up our discussion of Extreme Makeover Homer Edition. We'll talk about each of the segments, which ones we liked the most, which ones we didn't like so much, and our overall thoughts of the episode. And then we'll find out what we're doing next week. But before we do all of that, here at the Annoyed Grunt Boys, also known as the 138th Simpsons Podcast, we like to give each other gifts from the episode that we think our co-host might enjoy. And this week is no different. So, Craig, I got some things from you. First of all, I got you a centipede cabinet, and yes, I splurged for overnight shipping, so you'll get it immediately. And if that doesn't entertain you, I also got you a bag of birdseed, so you can pour it down your ass so squirrels and birds can munch on that tasty cake. I got you a fighter jet from the first segment, so you can store through the air. I got you a key to the executive washroom, so you can, take a dump while getting your shoes polished, or, get polished while you're getting polished. Whatever you want. And finally, I got you a family ladle, so you can wash your father in your single, sad, one-bedroom apartment.
Oh, man, I was ready to give you the centipede arcade cabinet, but someone beat me to it, so it must have been you.
I guess so. Sorry.
It's okay. I'll just give it back to you. Here you go.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Also, I got you Ned Flanders' organs, so you can use whatever organs you need replacing. Yeah.
I like
He's still alive, but, you get his little Geo Metro car as well. He's still stuck.
That's cool. I know one organ of his that I wouldn't mind having.
His heart.
Yeah, he's got a big heart. He's a good man.
Yeah. Here's a Ring camera, so you can, watch your pets from the Ring camera.
Thank you.
I did get you another arcade game. I got you the Whack-A-Moles, but also you get a gun to shoot them with. It's Fat Tony's I took from him. Hopefully he's okay. And then I got you Sex with Me, but we have to cry, like from the second segment.
No, thank you.
And I got you a wig, because you're bald, but it also has Homer's little 2 strands of hair on top and the side on the wig, so you can be hairless hair Homer.
Nice.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
For the second segment, I got you Sex with Helen Lovejoy.
I'll take it.
And Kirk has to be there too, but with his ripped body.
Nice.
I also stole the tip jar from Marge, so you can have that. I got you I Like Ike graffiti. And from the third depressing segment, I got you a set of stairs you could fall down for endless fun. I got you an oxygen tank so you can beat up Rich Texan with it. And a book set, Slaughterhouses 1 through 5.
Nice.
And that's going to do it. That's your gifts.
I think that'll do it. That's nice. That's very kind of you, Craig. I appreciate those. So as we do with the trilogy episodes, be them of horror or whatever, we kind of like to rank them, kind of which ones spoke to you the most, and what were your overall thoughts of this episode, and, the usual stuff. What do you think, Craig?
I mean, I guess you could do the segments, but also I think there's just a whole episode of Marge in real life at, getting drunk is fun. So I think really Marge as the MVJ is obvious. The banter that she has with everyone before she, starts drinking. The idea that Starbucks calls her Sarge is great. I like that nickname for her, Sarge.
Yeah.
So she gets my MVJ. And ranking the segments, though, I think they're all in their own way. The animation is just beautiful, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm obviously more going towards maybe the Top Gun and Joker segments because I'm familiar with that. But the second segment, the Madman one, which I've never seen, is just shot well. It's animated so well.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. Like, the whole episode, just animation-wise, is well done. I think I've said that enough, but I don't know. This is one of the toughest ones. I think usually with Treehouse of Horror, I can give you a 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I think the third segment might be my least favorite. Just because it's so gross and
yeah.
I mean, it's I don't hate any of them. That's the problem. I think they're all perfectly cromulent. Maybe I'll go. I think maybe the second one might be my favorite. It's the one I'm least familiar with, but I just think it hits differently. I don't know. Let's go 2, 3, 1. It's arbitrary, but I just can't really give it a proper order. So I will just say that this episode or 2 episodes, I think it's such a nice treat that we got. I almost felt like this was a feature-length film. I mean, obviously it was 45 minutes long, but it kind of felt like a movie. For some reason, the animation, the voice acting just felt theatrical to me.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You had cameos from Simpsons characters. There was a lot of references to older stuff. Again, I can't get over how beautiful this episode is visually. Just looks like paintings, the scenery. I had a lot of fun with this episode. It didn't slog for me. I think in that second segment, that old 60s animation style with just the black ink and then the bright colors in the background. And I love that reference to the lady, like the Why I Never lady, and just with the Ike poster, just so many great things. Like just that scene of Homer in the executive's office on the toilet.
Yeah.
Again, everything's like a painting in this episode. I think out of the Disney Plus specials, I'm going to rank them out of that. This is definitely
that's what I was going to suggest.
So
yeah, I would agree.
I think this one felt bigger. It felt theatrical. I don't want this to be what the Simpsons movie would be about, but it's another way of like going through like Marge's annoyance with Homer. Even the beginning, we didn't play the sound clips of it, but Marge, saying that she's annoyed. Or what would she say? That she's like annoyed that she's married to him. What would she say in the beginning?
She wishes that she sometimes wishes that she never married him.
Yeah, like the anger of that. I also love that like line that she says like right in the beginning of Republican tax cuts make me horny is just a very funny Marge quote. I feel like this is an episode I can't really critique much. I just had a good time watching it. And if I gave it a ranking, we have the parody of Joker, of course. I'm going to go to Rotten Tomatoes. I'm surprised by this. It's not certified fresh, the first film. It's only a 68 on the tomato meter, but an 89 for the popcorn meter. And then the sequel is spot on with 31 and 31. So the fans and critics all agree. Joker, fully a do. More like Joker, take
fully
a deuce.
A deuce. Yeah.
So between 31 and 68, I'll give this episode a 69.
Nice.
What are your thoughts on this episode and rankings, I guess, of segments and whatnot?
Yeah. This was a stunning episode. Like, visually, obviously, as you mentioned, it just looks great and diverse. Like, each of the three segments looks so different from one another. Very impressive. What I like about this, too, is that it is a very solid Just Simpsons episode as it is. Like, take away the segments and Marge's frustration with Homer. It's so heartbreaking because she's been upset with him a million times, but this time it's not the worst, but it's just one more thing and it just hurts her so much. And that feels so painful for her to burst out like you said, like, I wish I hadn't married you. And in a weird way, I defend Homer because he was waiting for the babysitter. And while the ring cam babysitter idea isn't great, he did think of a solution that is, in cartoon world, not horrible. And really, the thing that upset me about him in the episode was the fact that he was such a dick when he got to the bar and, like, overtook the conversation. But all that being said, I just think that the framing, the wraparound is so good. And then you have these three segments that are all so great at lovingly parodying what they are parodying. Even though I have not seen Top Gun, I think that the flight and the butt rock and everything is so good. And the Joker segment is so bleak and it hits the beats of the Joker so well. And Homer is genuinely creepy in it with his conveniently placed laughing fits that, fit where they're supposed to go, but not always. And I love how devious Marge is in that as well. Also a line of saying that he's not just infamous, but he's also famous. Very funny. But the winner segment for me has to be the Mad Men one. Aside from just casting the Springfieldians so well, it's just so beautiful to look at. And the message about, like, choosing nonconformity over, like, the safe button-down lifestyle I love. And I don't know, this is just a great episode of The Simpsons, and it feels so big, but also still hits the beats of what a Simpsons episode should be. I love this episode. If I'm ranking them, the segments, I think I go Mad Men number 1, Joker number 2, Top Gun 3, but they're all very close. I like that Joker really, like, did bum me out in a good way. And I did like that the 80s American imperialism of the Top Gun one is captured really well. I particularly love Chalmers getting upset about Homer naming real countries. So yeah, this is definitely a watch for me. Definitely the best of the Disney segments. The animation is spot on. And yeah, I love this. If I had to give a ranking, Mad Men had 92 episodes in its run. And so out of 92, I'm going to give this one a full 8 inches for some reason.
The ham of John Hamm.
Exactly. The Hamaconda, as it's commonly called.
You ranked them the same way I ranked them.
Yeah, I guess I did.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to mention the music as well. Like,
yeah,
a lot of in that Top Gun segment, all the songs, making fun of like what's going on in the like the kissing while having sex song is hilarious, and like they're using all like
that's
original
crying while having sex.
What did I say?
Kissing while having sex.
Yeah, the crying.
I know, they're both embarrassing, but
yeah, Steve, when you have your sex gift, I'm not going to be kissing you.
As long as you're crying, I don't care.
But yeah, like using all like original music, not using already music. What that means. Yeah, so that's why it just felt so theatrical. I think that's what I felt about it. It was a spectacle, and I think had you just aired these on air with, I was looking at the time, so it would have like maybe you got the first segment in, then it would have been a to be continued, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I think they were obviously, like, the production wise was meant to be a Disney Plus special. I don't think this was Disney going, okay, we're going to take a couple episodes. So they knew going in that this was going to be a long hour one. And it's rare. We don't get those hour long episodes. It's this one. It's the Great Fatsby's. It's the Simflix. And was there another one, or is it just these?
Deadly Flanders? Or was that just called
a series of Flanders?
That's right, yeah.
That's what I meant by saying Simpflix. I think that was
that's right. Yeah.
Good on the Simpsons. And again, a nice, like, we've been away from new Simpsons for a while, so it's a nice treat. So I think we discussed how Disney Plus is going to be putting out like specials every summer, and I think that's I think I like that. It gives you a reason to always remember the Simpsons are always shelling out some episodes even during the summertime. But the next few, I think, coming up will be just your typical 22-minute episodes.
Mm-hmm. I do think that Disney should take more episodes in this direction. Like, it's funny how, like, the other Disney specials have been, like, really very special, like with the Yellow Planet and the Christmas special and then, like, time jumping. And even though this one is a super deluxe episode and there is, like, a fantasy to it, it still respects the Simpsons world a bit more. And I hope they go more like this in the future.
I would kind of like it if they took 3 episodes out of the production and made like a 90-minute movie every summer.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Yeah. But we have a whole year, right? The Simpsons movies is, I think it's coming out in 2027, but like Christmas time, right? It got pushed back to December.
So we have plenty of time, so.
And we definitely will be going to the cinema for that. Actually, I think we have to.
Yeah, no, we're required, so.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for it. We have like a year, hopefully, that the Disney people can fly us out to Hollywood for the premiere so we can be on the red carpet.
Ooh, yes. And a free trip to Disneyland, too, Mr. Mickey.
And Universal, because I want to go to the Simpsons ride.
Of course, yeah.
In fact, I want to go to all the Disneys, okay? Give us that.
Yeah, Tokyo, Orlando, the rest, Euro.
I want and give us like good accommodations while we stay in Los Angeles. I think the Beverly Hotel is perfectly fine for us, but each have our own separate bungalow. Also, we better get a stipend for food. I'm only going to go to like Peter Luger's. That's not Peter Luger's. That's in New York. In fact, yeah. No, take us to Peter Luger's in New York first. No, I want to go to it's not that fancy. The old restaurant that's in LA, that steakhouse that
right.
What's that place called? Where all the old timey people went to.
Is it Spago or is that New York too?
No, not that one. Shit. Let me use my brain for a second, if that's okay.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Musso and Frank's, that's what I'm thinking of.
Ah, yes.
And Tam O'Shanter.
Oh, yeah. And Sugarfish.
And Pink's, the hot dog place.
Yeah. And an In-N-Out, why not?
Even though we have like 5 In-N-Outs in our local area now, we still want In-N-Out. And Arby's, the famous one. Bring that back. The one with the sign that they got rid of. Yeah.
Can we go to the clown liquor store too?
Sure.
Okay.
And can we star in our own blockbuster movie directed by Todd Phillips?
Sure.
No, James Gunn. We want to be in a James Gunn movie. Make that happen, Disney.
Yes. And while you're working on that, let's talk about next week.
Okay. Steve, is next week back to... I know it's officially summer now. Mm-hmm. Are we done spring cleaning, or is there a few more nooks and crannies we need to get cleaned up before...
I'm looking over in the corner, and I'm seeing some dust bunnies, meaning somebody didn't sweep up so good. So I think we got to go back to spring cleaning. Because next week we're talking about Gorgeous Grandpa, the 14th episode of the 24th season, in which Grandpa's former life as a pro wrestler comes back to light when Mr. Burns convinces him to stage a comeback, just like Lisa Kudrow. Meanwhile, Bart starts adopting some of Grandpa's character's bad habits.
All right. I remember this one. And I remember it was a character on Tapped Out, or there was a skin on Tapped Out, which I'm sure we'll bring up. And I just remember us not being fans of this episode. So we'll see if our mind has changed since then.
Yeah, this is the beginning of when I started to sour on Grandpa episodes. So maybe fresh light will change my mind. So hopefully it'll be good. If not, we'll talk about it. Either way. We hope you listen, and thank you so much for listening this week. And hey, if you want to contact us, we want to hear from you. You can contact us on socials like your Instagram or your YouTube at 138simpsons, or you can email us at 138simpsons@gmail.com.
And don't forget to sign up for Patreon, patreon.com/annoyedgruntboys. It's $5 a month, just $5 a month. Please sign up. Each week you get a bonus episode of our podcast. It could either be the Annoyed Grunt Boys podcast like it is this week, or it'll be us reviewing a movie, or we'll be reviewing an old TV show, or we will be reviewing a Golden Age episode of The Simpsons from 1 through 10. So sign up now, because I bet next week you might hear us talking about a Golden Age episode from seasons 1 through 10.
Maybe even season 10 itself. And hey, if you're so kind, go to your favorite podcatching app, leave us 5 stars or the equivalent, and you can write a review, but it doesn't have to be a real review. Just tell us which version of yourself you would like to see in the world.
And don't forget to go to tpublic.com/user/annoyedgruntboys for your Annoyed Grunt Boy swag.
Alrighty. Thank you so much again for listening. For this week, I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Steve.
And I'm Annoyed Grunt Boy Craig.
Danger is a me-seeking missile, and I face it head on.
I chose Pepsi, and proud of it.
Republican tax cuts make me horny.